right, so we are here on Instagram. Sorry about the harassing on Facebook. We're very much we tried all we could to to hold kiss and tell on Facebook, but it just wouldn't let me. Our page wasn't connecting. We're not able to bring in the guests, and it was really a problem. Please, can our what's his name? Our guest speaker for today, we are running extremely late, 20 minutes late. Please, can you ask him to come so that we can do it right here, right here. So, Amadi, Jireh, I'm gonna just bring you right in. We're about to bring in, and I've sent you invites. You are sending me invite. All right. So our guest is about to join us. So he's here. It's either that thing is the problem of our page or it's a problem with Facebook. Hello, how are you? You're welcome.
Mama, Mama, I was like, what is happening? Whether they don't want us to do this, our small gossip today.
No, today gossip we don't overload. I don't know. I don't know if it's Facebook, because what is happening is I can see your request to join. So usually when you request to join, I'm supposed to approve, but my approval is sending another request to you.
The issue is not with the admin. It's actually Facebook issue.
Oh, okay.
Something.
Oh my God, it's terrible. All right, gossip listeners, can we begin to mention the names of our friends? I know we don't have much of audience on Instagram, and I really wanted to reach out to so many people. So Ruth William, remember, you are the leader of follow. Oh yeah, go and gather all your people, everybody, the people I'm seeing now. Please let everyone on editorial, all our platforms, ask them to shift to Facebook, sorry, to Instagram, because this is where it is holding. So can we begin to tell them to come? Let's begin to mention all the names of whether anybody you have on Instagram. Begin to mention their names, tag them, and say, "Adis, come and join in this hot gossip." Please. Let's do that. So I'm going to just get right into today's gossip. So I'm going to ask you, AJ, to introduce yourself. I am this is my name, this is what I do, blah blah blah, just in a brief so that we can hit the nail on the head. So the floor is yours.
Okay, permit me to say Happy New Year to every one of you, wherever you're streaming from. Okay, welcome to Rainbow Youth's Kiss and Tell 2023. I'm very privileged to be the first guest. Yeah. Although I've been like, I've been sweating. This whole hot seat something is not really, it's not easy. Yes. So I'm like, this one, Kelechi said, you'll be on hot seat, you would answer questions. I'm like, this one will not be easy for the first time this year. So I'm really happy. Okay, my name is Amadi Jireh. I'm your very own brother. I'm your guy. I'm your closest friend. Okay, I'm actually the CEO of the Better brand. Better brand consists of better health, better gospel, consists of better wares and all. We have so much at the Better brand, okay? Which I'm actually.
I'm better gossip.
Yes, man. I'm better mama. Okay, and I'm also a blogger and influencer. I also help people in creating marketing and promotional plans. Yeah, that's just about me. So let's dive in. Okay, we really spent so much time trying to connect from Facebook. So, well, Baba was asking about my childhood. Well, it's not going to be funny explaining so many things right now about my childhood, because you won't be able to relate the me now and what I actually experienced growing up. It's a whole lot of difference for me. And every other person that I've been in my life growing up would tell that it doesn't seem like this is the same person that grew up under this kind of, they call it cage, okay? I grew up in a house where we have like 5 gates. Yeah, so so we were actually caged. Okay, there's this popular conception about bringing up or raising children. It's always with African parents and this Christianity. Okay, they are very, very, very. In fact, they've taken this Christianity of a thing to another level. So I would say for us in Africa here, we are practicing Christianity Pro Max. Okay, we are practicing Christianity Pro Max, and I think the people spearheading this move is actually my parents. So my parents actually were the movers of this Christianity Pro Max. You know, you grew up in a family where normally I'm not really disputing the fact that it's nice to always pray. You know, we grew up here, you have to pray every morning. We do this normal morning devotion before going to school and all that. I'm okay with that. I don't have any issues with that. But what I had issues with, it's the parenting pattern. Okay, I had serious issues with the parenting pattern. First of all, I'm very, very happy that my parents are actually not on Instagram at the moment, and I'm very, very sure they will not be saying this. So I'm very free to gossip so much, just say as much as I can, because my dad will definitely not see this. So I grew up to meet my dad as I met my dad as a blind man. Okay, I did not meet my dad to see like someone that sees. I grew up to understand my dad don't see. And when I tell people this, they're like, how? Yeah, my dad don't see. But now he flog past people where they he's really a good disciplinarian. Yeah. So we've had different patterns in the house, ranging from how we approach our parents. Okay, how we approach our parents. We are raised to be scared. You should always be scared at the presence of your parents. You should always fear them. Okay, we're not raised to respect them. So where, you know, when your dad is around, you don't cough, you don't say pim. You see something. We're also raised with these sign languages. Okay, when visitors come around and they want to give you something, just like, Jerry, how are you? Okay, take this one now. My mom will just look at you with this. You know, they like chop biscuits, and they'll be like, you don't eat biscuits. I want to. Inside me, I know I like that biscuit. You know these butter biscuits. Then that you get to open and you lick the butter. I'll be like, inside my head, I like. But once I look at this, I know that if I receive this gift now, I'm dead. Okay, and they'll give us money. My mom will be the one receiving. I don't want to talk about that aspect because she would always tell us she was saving it. I've not really seen any of it till now. The major stuff I want to really share about us is what I experienced with my parents, how they lived with themselves and how they lived with us. You know, we are not allowed to make friends. We're not allowed to make friends. We're not allowed to even go outside. We're not allowed to step out. You know, the routine was you wake up in the morning devotion. From there, we don't even brush before morning devotion. We just go straight from the bed to the parlor. After the morning devotion, you just get to brush your teeth, prepare for school, and off to school. Even on our way to school, we don't have to greet anybody. Okay, unless the person my parents approve. Hey, hello, Mama Jireh. Like, my sister, how are you now? They slap you. Can't you greet? We'll now be like, Aunty, good morning, or Uncle, good morning. Okay, we greet at the instruction of my mom then. So we get to school. We're also living in fear, okay? Because if you don't pass, my house is not the kind of house that there's room for errors, okay? If you don't pass, you're finished. And when I mean you're finished, you'll be humiliated verbally, and if need be, they'll flog you, okay? They behave like these wounded lions. Yeah, they behave like wounded lions. If you fail, and by mistake, you break a plate when you did not pass in the school, you break one plate, they will beat you for breaking the plate, then beat you for failing. And you hear stuff like, now wetin you sabi do now? Your mates, they carry first for class, they can't break my plate for house. And I'll be like, it really didn't happen to me actually, because myself, I was a little bit, let me not start blowing my trumpet, but I shall try for school. So my mom would always lay emphasis on nobody is coming back to this house with anything less than first position. If you take second and it's a lady that, you know, came first, and that one happened to me, Ihoma came first. And my mom was like, how will you be here? A woman will take first. My dad will say, in my days when I was in school, we did not, no woman. Who is that woman? They've not given birth to that person that would come and take first when I'm there. And so my dad always refer longer and all that. We're always under that pressure. We come back home and you don't get to enter the kitchen. You just wait. The next thing you hear is, Jireh, Shalom, go and put your plates. We'll go and just like a military home here, you drop your plates, and when you drop your plates, they will now call you to come and receive your food. Now, if they don't ask you if you're okay, you're not allowed to start opening your mouth to say, Mommy, I'm not okay or I'm not satisfied. Okay, I'm not satisfied. My mom will not permit something like that. Unless my mom will ask you, the way you're keeping your face, are you sure? You sure say you belefu out of? And I'll be like, no, Mommy, I'm not okay. She'll now add, Jireh, to just put small Jireh. And I go chop this food, go school tomorrow. More, I don't finish on this night. Oh. I know that the feeding pattern that way. But my major concern with that pattern is that it really spoiled so much for me growing up, because there are some meals my mom would prepare. They are very, very delicious. We don't go out, though. We stay in the house. So when they go inside their room to rest for the afternoon, maybe to have their siesta, I will sneak in and I'll just open. And please, let nobody judge me, okay? If your mom's soup is delicious, you understand what I'm doing. Most of you here actually did it, so nobody should just say anything. I would enter inside and I would just move one or two. In fact, I barely even move a whole meat. What I'll do is slim fitting. You understand? Just cut around the edges, cut around the edges. Then tomorrow we move again for the next round and all that. So I was actually, when you're not satisfied with the feeding pattern, you will not get to want to eat again. But since you can't even open your mouth to say anything about you not being satisfied, what's the next thing to do now? Is to go and move. If you have access to the pot, you can take it. You can't dish food. It's a rule. You don't open the pot in my house. Okay, you don't touch anything in my house. As far as the kitchen is concerned, my mom said, and my dad said it's my mom's office. That's her own place. So whatever wants to come in or out of that place should be at her approval. So I would always, once in a while, I'll pick one or two and all that. Late in the night, maybe past 12 midnight, I'll be hungry. I was not satisfied from the dinner. I will just go and dish little food. There's a way I would use the spoon to arrange it. If it's soup, my mom would know, because the oil on top, once the oil dries, there's this cloth. So when I dip my, mama, when I dip my hand to collect anything inside, the map will show. I hear my mom saying, somebody has touched my meat, somebody has touched the pot, and they assembled the whole family. Now, because of fear of how you'll be disciplined, even if you're the one that did it, you would lie. So everybody will collect cane until my parents will now use emotional blackmail. They will now bring you in and start telling you, Jerry, you are the son I love so much. You are my favorite. We are not doing this because we hate you. We love you so much. The Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. If you know any of your brothers that took this thing, just say it. Just say it and be free. Do you like the way we are flogging you for what you did not do? They keep saying things and before you start crying. Yeah, Mommy, I'm the one, I'm sorry. Even when you cry and apologize, after the promise not to flog, they will beat you. They'll beat you. Am I training thief in my house? A whole godly home. My mom will start crying and reading the Bible when my dad is flogging. As my dad is flogging, my mom is reading Bible. I will not spare the rod. I will not spoil my child. You see this child today. You will change. As this cane is touching you, Rima Santa, Rima, and all that. You understand that vibes? So we kept on going like that until I personally learned that it's bad to actually steal, because most times we grow up foolishly with this mentality of don't steal ourselves, but this one, it's your parents' food now, it's your house one, so it's not stealing, it's just you collecting because they will not give you. So since they will not give you, it's better for you to help yourself. So I actually went through that phase. Another challenging moment I had in my life was where they stopped us from mingling with persons. It spoils so much about me. People feel like I'm much of an extrovert now. It's not true. It's not true. This is me trying to come, like this me trying to push out myself to relate with people. I was trained in a way that I was scared of humans. Like I was too careful, too like I don't want to. My mom would say, you don't know the person where you go match in toe now. This will happen. I know where you go say the boss person ball. This will happen. So we don't even. We are very they lock. Once we come in, yeah, everywhere locked. You don't go out. You don't step out. But growing up, I will now sneak out to play ball. When I play this ball, instead of playing it for like 30 minutes or 1 hour, I'll play till night because I want to have the full of it. I want to enjoy every bit of it. Once I'm done playing the ball, go back home now. I will now go back. My parents will tell me, Jerry, go inside. I'll be like, Daddy, you flog me. He'll be like, go inside. Say, Daddy, you flog me. Next thing he will tell me is, Jerry, if you don't go inside, I'll lock you. Because of fear now, I cannot stay outside. I will go in. Around 2 a.m., past 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you just hear knock on, you just hear the door, children's door open. Brown. My dad will now, you don't see, but he will just use his hand at me. He will call your name. Once he call your name, he knows where you are. He will go and locate you. Be like, Jerry, where are you? I will say, Daddy, I'm here. He will hold me. See that night, they will flog me. They pour pepper. My mom has already grinded pepper. When I mean pepper, that time I remember that period, Cameroon pepper, not Cameroon pepper of today that they are mixing. Original Cameroon pepper that a drop of it can serve occasion pot.
I've been there.
So they would
Shaking my head.
they
Yeah.
would grind the pepper, mix it with water. My mom will mix it with water. She will keep it in the kitchen. Once my dad comes, they'll lie me down at the center of the parlor. My dad has used normal cane. My dad has used belt. My dad has used machete, the body of machete. My dad has used wire, this electric cable, into two. He would fold them into two. He has used it. They will flog me. As my dad is, my mom is always one side using the Bible and prayers to back it up. My dad is lashing on this other side. Once he drop one, my mother is speaking in tongues and saying, I cast out that spirit. I cast out my father flogged another one. I cast out that spirit. Now, at the time, my dad flogged and he's not seen. So he flogged and the cable crossed to my eye. And people don't know why. That was why I actually had issues with my eye there. It crossed and hit my eyeball. My eyeball swelled, just one of my eyes, my left eye. It was swollen in the morning. And my dad came to his senses that period. Once my eye went down, they were pampering me and all that. My child, I love you. The idea is not to kill you. We will not kill you. We do this and all that. I was like, okay, Daddy, I always be crying because it's always emotional for me. When my parents are explaining all those things, I'll be crying. Once my eye goes down, I'm fine again. I'll go out. Every slightest opportunity I had, even if it's just to run errands, I'll use it to go and play. Because you can't ask for permission, Mommy, let me just go play here. And where we play is not even far from the house. Where we play is not far from the house. It's just close along the street there. You can't say, Mommy, let me just go play. Give me a few minutes. Like the way I see parents do once in a while. But my parents will not allow. So when you have that little opportunity, you step out. So they will send me for errands, just go and buy something here. I'll say, okay, I'll go out. I will go and play to my satisfaction, to my heart's content. Pata na flog. Highest thing they will do is to beat me and bless and pray and pour oil and all that. That's the highest. There was a day that I came back, they kept me under hot sun. Yeah, they kept me under hot sun. As they poured the pepper, they are flogging me. Sun was hot. Yes, in the compound there. Nobody will come and save you now. Who? Because my dad is somebody that you can't stand. Once he says something like this, you don't voice when he's talking. Now you're picking, when my picking spoil, make your own better. That's what you will always say. So they would keep me under hot, when I mean hot sun. It's so hot that even the ground is hot. So you will lie down naked, like they will strip me naked, totally naked. And my mom will pour the pepper, they will be flogging. My mom will carry her own and all that. And the worst part was that I kept doing these things. I won't still stop. And my head is, after everything, and I still flog. I I was actually monitoring so many things about my dad and how they are living their lives. And personally,
I'm going to
I
how were they relating to each other?
my
How was their
parents,
it will be toxic.
if I'm to judge the relationship of my parents, if I'm to use it as a yardstick for running my own relationship or being in my own relationship, I think I'll be like a beast. Because one, they gather you, they speak words, pray and all that, but something happens and my dad will start shouting, both of them. This one day my dad carried water, poured my mom, went to where she was, held her, pulled her into the store, beat, dragged her out again to the parlor, beat. We're small now, what do we know? We'll just keep quiet. And watching those things happen, when my mom will gather us with her swollen face and all that, she'll start explaining us, see what your father did to me and all that. Now, for the ladies, they will hate men. Growing up in that kind of family, they will end up hating men. For the guys, they will feel like that's the best way to show that you have authority in the house. But for me, it was a pattern. I saw the thing going on, and all that. Whenever they start looking like they're happy, and my dad will call my mom sweet names, honey, darling, best, this, that, I'll be like, after now, I go fight. So one day I came back from school, and I saw my mom's room door broken, and I asked my siblings. I said, "What happened?" They said, "Daddy and mommy." I said, "How?" He said, "Daddy was with mommy in the parlor. They were quarreling. And mommy now said for peace to reign. She entered her room and locked her door. Then everybody did their day. That daddy had to come, broke the door, pulled her by her hair to the parlor, dragged her and beat her there." And I don't want to explain the reason, because most times when we start hearing the reasons why they are actually having this fight, it's laughable. It's very, very laughable. Personally, I was beginning to get the feel that even after everything, my mom still honors him. My mom sees him as a god. My mom worships him like no man business. So I was like, inside my head, I was like, wow, is this the best pattern? Is this how other parents do in their houses? Because I will still hear one man there, I don't want to use vulgar words. One of our neighbor will come out, and you hear the way he will be shouting and embarrassing his wife with things that they do in the bedroom. You say, you sef, you no even sweet. No be say dey sweet, you sweet. Na manager dey manage you. Are you still in public? I'm not like, so it's a normal trend. It's like that's how men gain dominance over their wife, and that's how wives respect their husbands. So if you don't know how to shun your wife, if you don't know how to beat her, if you're not strong enough, then
Wow, it's really a mouthful. AJ, I think your network, you're trying to connect. Um, Sorry, I lost you on track. That's why I began to talk. I lost you.
okay. I was at the point where I said my mentality changed in the way that I was thinking, is this how men treat their wives? Is this how they get to gain dominance and the respect in it? You have to be a macho man. You have to raise your voice. You have to raise your hand. That way, your wife will actually respect you. I was having that mentality
Yeah,
growing up.
I'm going to
So,
stop you so that I can ask you a question. Then I'll just take the questions and then it will help you to, expatiate. How traumatizing were these experiences? And in what way did it affect you and your siblings directly, even as they've grown up? Because do you have a sister? If you have a sister, such a thing can make a girl become wayward. Like, because girls are more emotional, so such things just make them get loose. Like, I don't care about the world. Like, no caution in the air. Because there is no caution at home. So why should I have caution? Why should I value myself? I should just give it to any man, anywhere, all around. So I'm going to ask you, how traumatizing were these experiences for you, for your siblings, And in what way has it affected? Like, okay, I have a sibling that really affected more than it affected me. Before I ask the next question.
Ah, talking of being traumatized, on a scale of 1 to 100, and 100 being the highest form of trauma, I think I was 101% traumatized, judging from my age then. Okay, I was really small, so it's disheartening and so heartbroken to see your mom crying in pain. You know, I I grew up to be fond of my mom a lot. Okay, I'm more closer to my mom than my dad. Although I'm my dad's personal assistant and secretary and all that, but then I was more closer to my mom. So getting to see her in pain and knowing the reason for that beating, it's crazy. When you get to see people in love beating, like having this blow and all that. And one of the things, when they say when two elephants are fighting, the grass suffers. That's what happened to us. So at the time they start their fight, no cooking of food in the house. We don't get to eat. You will now start looking for a way to eat, like hunger. My dad will say, tell your useless mother to cook your food for you. My mom don't have any job. She didn't have money then. It's not like when she opened her shop. She had not opened her shop. So there was no money to even talk about preparing food for the children. My mom would just carry us and be crying with us. All of us will be doing this cry stuff. My dad, if he comes back and sees us crying with her, he will pull us like, come on, get her from there. What are you doing there? Get her from there before she's going to spoil you. We'll go back and go back into the room. Now for me then, I don't know how to talk. I would always be to myself. I'll stay to myself. I'm very, very emotional. Forget. I'll cry. I cried. Because anytime they start this thing, it affects every aspect of the family. We can't do anything. We can't. My elder brother, that one is even the worst. That one is the worst. My sister, yes, till now it's affecting her. And most times I wish she's able to learn. She can be able to come to her senses and understand that life is choices. It's about choice, personal choice. So till now, it's affecting her. She's still stigmatized. She still lives in fear. You leave the house, you offend my parents, you leave the house, but then you can't come back. And so you go extra mile, you go and look for where to sleep. And when you go to sleep there, you're staying with wrong friends. From there, they take you to club and all that. That has been my sister's movement. So she won't even come back because if she comes back to the house, they can't accept her like the way they would accept. They will deal with you like deal with you. So every one of us had that stigma. That we mentally we were scattered. Each time it happens, who would you want to talk to? You want to talk to mommy or talk to daddy? Talk to mommy, you're a soup. Talk to daddy, it's as if you're betraying mommy. So you just have to stay back. We now started, when you want to make who is your best, whose side are you on? And my dad, you must be on my dad's side if you want to eat. You must be on his side. So when you're on his side, he will buy you noodles. Every one of us could prepare noodles for ourselves then. So when he buys noodles, the one that is on my mom's side, let your stupid mother look for what you will eat today. It was hell for us, mama. It was hell.
Okay, so how were you able to juggle this kind of this is more like slave relationship? Yeah, it's not don't think your case is worse. There's somebody I'm trying to bring. I might have to push the person so that it will not look like the same story I'm bringing the next month. The person has the worst, like I don't know, is just like this. But this is what I call slavery, not parenting, not child parenting. This is not even housemaid. This is slavery because these were the things that the slaves saw in the hands of their taskmasters during the slave trade era. So this is not parenting, and we have to. I'm going to bring you to the point of truth and realization today that this is slavery. So how were you not able to? Because you are not any of these things. I know your story very well, and I'm just trying to understand because a lot of people give excuses. Oh, it's because of what happened to me when I was growing up. Oh, it's because of what my parents did to me. I want to tell people, I want to say that one of these months, I will not be the person handling kiss and tell so that I can share my story. I want to share my own story. I'll be the one on the hot seat. Maybe you'll be the one to interview me because people give too many excuses. So I want to ask, how is it that you are so different from this horrific, disastrous, catastrophic kind of upbringing. How did you juggle it and manage it to bring out this your identity?
Okay, thank you, Mama. First of all, I had to check out my grandfather. He was living close to us. I would always go to his place, and I noticed he was also doing the same thing. And I heard how he beat my grandmother to the point of death. Like I heard it was even the beatings he gave her that made her not to live long. Yes, I heard Aunty. Even he now married another wife, a very young woman, very young lady. He continued that one, beating and all that. I heard of how I saw how he talks to the children, how he raised the children, and all that. For me, I got to understand that it's a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice. It's not all this. My dad always beats my mother, so it's in the gene. If you keep telling yourself it's in the gene, you're lying to yourself. You're talking nonsense. Honestly, you're saying nonsense. Because I'm coming from a lineup of stuff like that. Like if you trace it down, it's happening. Not just my dad, my uncles, they do the same thing. So I personally sat down. Growing up, I was noticing that same temper issues. I started developing hot temper. Once you talk, the way I will lash on you, I was beating my other brother like to stupor. I would beat him blue black. You don't talk to me when I'm talking. I was that any little thing I get angry, any little thing I'll stay like this and I'll tell you I will not eat again. I'll just leave my mom's food. My mom will not tell me this kind of anger where your papa get, now you can't get to. Every time I would get angry, little word you say, I now traced it. I said, no, this thing is something that's also in my dad. It's something that's also in my grandfather. Okay? But personally, it's not what I want for my life. This is not how I want to live with people. This is not how I want to treat the woman I'm getting married to or I'll be married to. So I told myself, no. I set the standard for myself. It's not about gene. It's not like there are no times where I would want to flare up. There are times where the anger is there. Whether you like it or not, we are humans. But I kept reading books. Funny enough, yeah. I read books. I read nice stories, and I was seeing stuff like happily ever after and all that. I was seeing how I also read the story of a man that never quarreled with his wife in front of his kids. They've never said, in fact, the kids never knew that they quarreled and how they settled their issues and all that. So I kept that standard. I told myself, I will never raise my voice at any lady. Yes, I told myself, I will never raise, not even to talk of hand. And if you are married, if you feel this is my wife, there are ways to handle it. Before you got married to this person, you should have known the person too well to know that this is how I should prove to her that I'm angry, rather than shout, rather than fight or beat her. If I cannot be able to talk to this woman and let her know that I'm angry without shouting, if I cannot pass the message to her without beating her, then she's not my wife. Now my house help. So I don't want much. Even I can't imagine getting married and my wife is like a house help. She has a say. So I told myself, my mom never had a say. My mom, she don't. My dad is yes and amen. So personally, I decided if I'm in a relationship, I will ask you for your own opinion. I will not tell you you must do this. When I tell you, I say, don't you think you have to do this? And you will tell me, no, I don't. Most times, at the end of the day, you will notice that you're the one that don't even have sense. Because most of the mistakes and errors my dad ever made in his life is because he never even consulted my mom. And my mom left him feeling his alpha and omega. So my dad entered into stuff that made the family run into debt. When I mean debt, I'm talking about debt of millions. Because this woman is now under you that you can't seek her counsel. You beat herself. So she can't even see you as somebody she can talk to. I told myself, no, when the Bible says wife is helpmate, it's no joke. I should be able to talk to her and get ideas from her. I should be able to, she can tell me, don't do this thing. And I'll say, okay, man, no problem. I hear you, man. She can be able to tell me, because sometimes people don't understand that what the woman may likely see, the man cannot see. Women, I don't, sorry, with deep, sincere respect to every male reading this thing, okay, watching now, viewing this stuff. Women are very wise. Women are very, very, very wise when it comes to running the home. Unless Satan just carry one foolish woman and give you. Women are very, very, very wise. God gave them that power to manage, to know how to run things. It's in their DNA. We men are trying to learn it. They are born with it. So my mom never knew all this. My dad never knew all this. In fact, he sees, you know, when people see women as second class, then whatever wisdom flows from them directly. They will tell you how it does. If you don't do it like that, that's how we run into problems. My mom is able to run a shop, run businesses, get her wardrobe filled with clothes, not my dad's money. You ask yourself, why is this woman able to dress so much and dress? Why this man is not able? You will not understand that this woman is able to manage a little business and cater for herself and still be able to contribute little quarter to the house. So I told myself, no, I've seen what my mom can do. Because I studied and I understood that she can do so much that my dad don't know. So why will I be flaring up at a woman when I know too well that she can actually bring good things to the table? So I told myself, no, I won't carry this lifestyle to anybody. My dad had his life. He has his own life. Me, I have my own to live. I have my own record to set. He has already set his own. Let me set my own. I would not be beating anybody. I will not be aggressive to get things done. So if I must get, I talk calmly.
All right. So you're those watching us. It's about life boils down to choices. Because what AJ is trying to say is what I started with. Maybe I said it on Facebook that didn't work before we came down on Instagram. That you are what you choose to be. You are not necessarily what happened to you. So for those of you watching us now or you will watch later, stop quit giving the excuses of it is when I was growing up because you had all the emotional abuse, all the things that they'll tell you are useless and others. I see people, they'll say they are not able to speak, they are not able to change because their parents told them they are useless, their parents told them they can't amount to anything. Listen, when you keep living in excuses, you keep being an excuse.
My dad said the same thing.
Like
My dad said
so
my dad said the same.
whatever that has happened to us is for us to put it together and use it as a stepping ground to better ourselves and better others. I'm going to say something about your parents. With all due respect to them, I've handled issues like this and it's so annoying to me. Would you agree with me that because sometimes we just think that, oh, it's discipline, is this or no? Some parents are sick. Some parents are actually sick. But you know, in this part of the world, in that part of the world, sorry, I'm not in Nigeria, in that part of in Africa, in our country, Nigeria, we don't believe in mental health. We don't believe in we have problem. As long as we have house, we can eat, we walk, we do this.
And they will pick up the Bible.
I'm going somewhere. So we're 100% okay. I have the house, I get bed and all that. But 70% of Nigerian parents are sick. So would you agree with me that your both parents were sick? Both spiritual, health, physical, they were both sick. Because I've seen families where the father is so terrible, the mother will he doesn't see. So he is even restricted to certain things. So the woman, this one, the men, they even have eyes they can see. The women will just gather their children, zoom, and just leave the beast at home. But this one, I don't know if when she married him, he had that situation or it was in the marriage that
Married him like that.
My God, that must be so genuine love.
Serious one.
Because I can't imagine doing that. I was thinking maybe.
Oh,
wow. I really okay. So what I'm trying to say is both of them. I don't know what they are doing right now, but they were sick, judging from the past. They were both damaged because pouring pepper. I grew up with briefly with my aunt, so I tested that pepper aspect. That even when I got back and I was telling my mother, it broke my mother down. So I cannot imagine a mother that carried it was 9 months doing that. So the only thing I can use to justify that they were sick and religiously sick. So they were mentally sick, damaged, and also religiously sick. You know those parents that quote Bible more. that every time they carry big Bible, every minute, they are the worst kind of parents. The ones that lock up their children, they end up their children getting spoiled. Those ones that lock up all the gates, lock up all the windows, their children are rotten. Because one, you don't go out, you don't learn, you don't make mistakes. Most childhood mistakes are for us to save us when we get to adult age. But most times you see adults doing mistakes that were supposed to have been done when they were kids. And you wonder, what is wrong with this person? These are mistakes for children. So your parents were actually sick. That is one. Because we're trying to wrap up. Have you been able to bring your parents to what we call in literature the stage of recognition? Have you been able, because you're not a kid anymore, have you been able to sit them down and tell them all their sins, everything they've done? Because I'm sure that even if it might not be affecting you, it's affecting your siblings. Have you been able to bring them into the recognition of the damages that they've done to you and your siblings? Because they might still be owning it up and saying that they did the right thing, they are God, they are this, they are that. No. Have you been able to sit them down? Sit down, I want to talk to both of you. And let them, tell them all their sins, let them start making their restitution. Have you been able to do that?
Yes, I did though. I did. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. Okay. They saw me, you know, when they raise you in fear, and when you're now grown up and you no longer have that fear in you, it's now a time to show respect. But if the respect is not there, then there's problem. So for a while, both the fear and the respect was not there until I personally learned myself how to respect. I learned how to respect them at old age, like grown up like this. That's how I learned how to respect my parents. I never respected them growing up. I was scared of them. So I used myself as an instance while talking to them that day. It was like a family meeting, and my dad wanted to hear from every one of us. So I sat everybody down. And this time around, I don't have to be scared of. If you don't want me to talk, you won't even see me for the next 2 years or 5 years. I'm that kind of person. So they will not want to lose or miss me. So I used that ground as a very important personality now to talk to them. And I made them understand this and this are the stuffs you guys did, and this is what it did to me. You may see it as I ended up being stubborn, but the fact is that the disciplinary method you used actually made me used to, I got used to your flogging. And so in my head, I've already adjusted, no matter what, it's flogging. So that's how I kept up with what I was doing. You told me not to go outside and all that. I ended up doing drugs, I ended up doing everything because the slightest opportunity I had, I don't have experience. Even they never even talked about don't follow woman, don't. My parents don't say nothing. They only just lock you in. They don't tell you things. If you put us in and give us facts, real facts about life, it's even a different case. You just box us in, you enter your room and we stay in our room, go and read your books, and that's it. So I told them, I said, you never told me anything about most of these things. I now had the opportunity. And for me, it's like the best chance in the world. I had opportunities. And because of you, I told them, I said, if it's not because of heartbreak or anything, if I ever ventured into hard drugs, it's because of you people. Because I was not made to be scared of, or to avoid these drugs. You never mentioned, you only told me, then go, don't play with this, don't play with friends. Don't go and read your book, read your book. There's life beyond just read your book. Tell me the other side of it and what will happen to me if I venture on the other side. And tell me, let me now make the choice myself. Life is about choices. Now I'm old enough. Am I not doing what I have to do? You're not there with me. I can travel to Lagos, travel to Abuja. You don't even know what I'm doing at the moment. So I told them, I said, people messed up. You messed my childhood up. Like you really messed my childhood up. Children are going to be with toys and you make me feel like having toys is a sin. Children, stop. That children they go to amusement park. It's not like the money was not there. It's not like they don't have the resources to actually carry out these things. But you make it look like you're actually training me well. Whereas you made I'm losing my childhood, the fun of childhood and everything. I don't have it. I don't have that experience. I was only having the experience of a master and slave. Once he says do, you do. Once he says do, if you don't do, you are dead. So that's how I told them, you raised us up like slaves. You did not raise us up like children. Even normally they say that these children are not like Ipere children. It's the choice we made. I don't behave like an Ikwere guy. I don't behave like an Ikwere boy. It's my choice. It's not like I cannot go and resell his land. As he's there, sir, before he can't even see road out of his room. He's to come to where land is. I told him, I said, if I want to sell your properties, I will sell it off. But because of who I am now and the choice I made, that is why it's not you, the person I am today that you are enjoying now. It's not you. I keep telling them it's not to people who I am now, what the man I am now, that people are enjoying and telling people, and now my son be that, and now my son be that. It's not you. I keep telling them these things. Until tomorrow, I'll keep telling them because till now, it's still affecting my sister. And I'll tell them, my sister misbehaving now, it's your fault. I remember telling them what to do about my sister. Tell them do this, do that, do that. They sat back and say I'm the father of the house. There cannot be two sailors in a ship. There's only one captain of the ship and not the blah blah blah. See where your captain has led your daughter to. Captain of the ship, the ship where one of your member, one of your passenger on board has gone overboard. I kept telling them this thing. Until tomorrow, I'll keep telling them. And once in a while, my mom is now beginning to see reasons. You know, my dad will not talk when I talk now. He will just keep quiet. It's my mom that will always cry and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know now. I don't know if I know all these things. And I understand because most of these people are doing, most of these parents are actually doing it out of ignorance. So you as a child, you should understand that your parents are ignorant. Make your own choice. This is what I want to do. If your dad beats a woman, he's a beater. If you beat a woman, he's a beater. You are a beater. It's not because your dad did. It's your choice. You've chosen to be a woman beater. You've chosen to be shouting at people. You've chosen to be rude and to neighbors. It's not your parents. That is who you are. So at the end of the day, nobody sees your father. Nobody sees your mother. It's you. Mama, I keep telling them this until tomorrow. My dad, he will just keep quiet. It's my mom that is apologizing. And honestly, I forgive them for everything. I don't, even if once in a while, you know, my parents will tell me then, when somebody comes to the house and say, this your son fine. No? My parents will say, this always get big head. We're ugly like wait I don't know. We fine. I grew up with that low self-esteem. I always felt like I was ugly. But when I discovered that, guy, at least you try. Mama, you look now. Let go I try.
You better not let me rate you now. You better not. Maybe your parents' own will be better than my own. Don't even let me rate you.
Mama, don't come.
So please, if you're just joining us right now, this is Kiss and Tell with Aunty Kelechi, and today I'm putting on the hot seat a young man that I love and respect, Mr. Amadi, Jireh, Better Concept CEO, and today he's sharing his childhood experience, a very traumatic, very disdainful, very horrific story, you know. And let me tell us, the viewers, something about telling your story is that you become the creator of your story. You become the controller of your story. That is the strength in sharing whatever that has happened to you. In case there is any part that used to hold you down, the moment you share your story, you become an authority over that aspect of your life. So his growing up was very, oh my God, worse than traumatic. It was just slave kind of growing up. That's not parenting. That is not childhood parents and whatever. It is horrific. It's terrible. So I'm going to ask AJ, the last question before I talk about, before I address our audience, in what way have you channeled resources to refine and redefine yourself based on where you're coming from? How did you channel the resources? What role did God play? Of course, because I've not yet mentioned God. So how did you channel resources that has built you into who you are and who you will continue to be?
Basically, first of all, I would want to give all glory, all attributes to God. Because, first of all, what God did for me was direct my path to the right persons. You know, I bless God for the gift of men in my life. So these men were like standards to me. Okay, I watch, I learn. You don't teach me by shouting at me. I'm actually looking at what you're doing, and I'm learning. And so I see families. I'm like, wow. So a dad and his daughter can converse like this. You see a dad get to know his daughter's boyfriend. The boy will come to there. It's not like he's supporting evil, but he'll be like, he wants to be in the know of what is happening in their lives. And the daughters were accountable to him. They would always tell him, Daddy, he told me he wants to see me at social time. They would always gossip the guys to their dad. I saw this closeness. I would always see man and wife sit down and plan stuff together. And I'm like, so this thing is actually working out. And I told God, I said, God, please, just anything you would do. I know you can just touch a button, but I don't want to live my life like this. I don't want to be like my dad. If that's the standard, I don't want that standard. I want to be different. And the person I'm actually dating currently, I would always tell her, I said, I want to set a standard that every other person, preceding generations to come, is going to see and understand that this is how relationship ought to be. This is how marriage ought to be. That is what I believe in. So I read books, Mama. I read certain books, on emotional balance, emotional control, emotional intelligence. Okay, so that you can be able to understand that most times this person doing this thing is not actually doing it to hurt you. The person could be doing it out of ignorance. So you know how to approach certain issues. Because most times this thing boils down to ignorance. You yourself, you're ignorant, you're foolish. So you're acting out of your own foolishness. If you're well schooled, you have proper orientation on how to relate with people. You will know how to control your emotions. You will know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. You know how to pass. So I had to follow these persons. I studied them. First of all, these people don't yell. They don't yell at their kids. They have a way of passing simple information. And I started trying it out. With my siblings, they will tell you, I don't yell at them. But once I tell you, do this thing, they respect me more than my parents. And my dad at some point will be like, you are like, you won't be God for my house. I said, no. It's just that I've gotten a different approach on how to get these things done. If my parents ask my siblings to do anything and they don't do it, they'll come and report to me because they believe I have a better approach on how to talk to them. I learned these things by following these persons. I watched how they were able to manage their family affairs. So first of all, I actually prayed to God. I did not pray like one serious prayer. I pray like somebody that is bothered. I was bothered in my spirit. I'm like, God, I don't want to be like this because I'm seeing traces of it in my life. So from there, I started mingling with persons, how they run their families. I studied it and I told myself, this is just how I want to be. This is the one I want to pick. So the one I want for my life, I've sat down, I've known this is what I need in my life. I pick it. This is what I need. I pick it. I just learn differently, different families. There are families that are good in this aspect, but bad in this one. I pick the good one and I receive it. I go to this side, I pick and I learn. So you should learn. You must learn the process. Human beings are different. We are all different. We have our different approaches. We are coming from different families and different backgrounds. So I learned that way, and I know that this person coming cannot reason like me. I shouldn't expect this person to reason like me. So I have to operate in that person's level so that I can pass a message directly to this person the way the person will understand. So understanding people and all that, I learned it a whole lot. I had to learn it.
So
it wasn't easy. It's not a mistake.
Thank you so much. You said something very profound, and I want our viewers, whether you're viewing now or those who will view later, to understand this. And he said he looked at what do you see, and the Lord told Ezekiel, what do you see? What do you see? I often tell people that growing up, okay, I grew up with a single mother, so I didn't see husband and wife. I didn't see husband and wife. I didn't grow up in husband and wife family, but my mom, we had neighbors that had husband and wife. We were very much better than those people that are husband and wife. You know, the children go to terrible schools. We go to, top schools. But I said something to myself. I told myself that I want to have a marriage that I'm a friend to my husband. See, when I tell girls about marriage, I talk about friendship. I tell my daughters, develop friendship. And friendship does not take 200 years. Even in 2 weeks, you can develop friendship for a lifetime. That is the truth. Because people can pretend or whatnot. Friendship is the only thing that sustains marriage. Now, I began to see couples that are friends. It's not that they don't quarrel. But you know when you're your friend that you love so much quarrel, you know, I beg go. The next second, you people are together like alpha. Because You people love each other. I'm talking of friends. I'm not talking of dating or whatnot. You people love each other. So you always go back. Even you are friend, I beg, go, I beg, please get out. You right back. I saw those things. I saw husband and wife as friends, as lovers. They will fight. No, not fight like fight, play fight. They will fight. They will chase each other. They will do. And I do all that in my marriage because it is what I saw. My elder sister does not have that aspect of marriage. In fact, she married a terrible person. And I keep telling her, what did you see? We didn't have a father, but we had a mother that was doing everything to give us the best. I had the best childhood. To be honest with my mom, we could go to all the tourist beach in Port Harcourt. We went to private schools.
Mom,
You know,
you enjoy.
no, I enjoyed, but not in my uncle's house when I was there briefly. But I didn't see husband and wife because she was a single mother. As I then she was already divorced, so she raised us. She was pregnant of me and she was already divorced. So I didn't see the father, mother. But like you said, what do you see? I didn't see all the fanciful pretending marriages. No, my eyes were sneaking. My eyes were looking for the simple things that makes the best moments. My eyes were looking for marriages. When you see them in church, people can pretend. I knew the
Yes.
pretending couples, but my eyes will always look for those ones that don't pretend. You see them, you see the synergy that these two people are not pretending. That was what I was looking. I was seeing people that their children were well disciplined, and the discipline is so freely given. Their children have fire. Their children were transparent with it. Their children were open. That was what I see. That's what I was saying. And that's what I continue to see. But you said you were seeing those things in different couples, different people, and you began to build yourself up because the process of defining what has happened to you begins with what do you see? Do you still see the past? Do you still see the trauma? Do you still see the excuses your parents gave to you? Do you still see the abuses? If you still see those things, those are the things that you will become. The road to becoming begins with what do you see? Ills have happened to me. A lot has happened to me. But I don't continue to go and I'm looking like this because that's what most of you are doing. You are moving like this, but you are doing like this. You're doing that like this because you don't want to let go of the past. We all have stories. My story is worst. I'm going to sit on the hot seat very soon. But it wasn't with my mother. A man that calls himself my mother's elder brother. You see this paper you talked about, he has entered my private part like 1 billion times living with them. But did I come out and I start using that to define myself? I don't want to go beyond it. I can't relate to people. I can't relate with youth. No. The process of building yourself begins with what do you see? And what do you see is not like this. What do you see is like this. Eyes are not behind. Our eyes are in front for a reason because we're supposed to see forward. The future is what we are supposed to see. So as I'm about to round up in the next 3 minutes, this is me saying to Amadi, thank you so much for coming to share this powerful story with us. Thank you for being a lifesaver. You're always a game changer. Thank you. God bless you. And God will continue to use your story to change us. I'm going to bring you back sometime soon for another aspect of this story. God bless you. So as I continue, I want to also let us know that you cannot say you want to change and all you continue to speak is the past. Oh, this thing happened to me. Oh, this thing happened to me. It is because my parents were flogging me in the sun. They naked me. I have been naked several times. I'm going to share my terrible stories with you. So you don't define yourself with what has happened to you. Define yourself with the future. What is the word of God saying? What is God saying concerning you? What is the same? Beloved, you are a chosen person. You are my person. You are the one I love. You are my beloved. You are my precious gifts. So today we're here to tell, that is what Kiss and Tell is. We bring people's story to encourage you not to be on the ground. We all fall, but what happens to us is some people decide to remain on the ground, while some people decide to get up, dust themselves, and keep moving. If they fall again, they get up, they dust themselves, and keep moving. That is who this woman here is. I dust myself up and I keep running. Everything I do in my marriage, I didn't see it growing up because I didn't have a father. But I do all that because I saw and I keep seeing. Don't define yourself by standards set by your parents that were sick. They were sick. Imagine if a man guy comes out and he's a beast, he's beating all his girlfriend, he's beating everybody. He would just maybe become blind too. You don't know. You need to take off the clothes of the past. Take off the clothes of childhood. We all have scars. I have scars. In fact, I just gave myself a cut and my husband is angry. Let me show you as the scar. I always, when I'm using knife is always designing my body for me. So we all have scars. I have scars on my body. Scars from my falls. Scars from childhood. The trauma that my uncle's wife did to me. But I am the person that fights against child abuse. I'm the person that makes sure me and my husband, every child, any person that comes to our life is better. We pay school fees. We'll do everything that we can to better your life. But I never got that. Nobody gave me clothes. I give clothes. Nobody gave me birthday gifts. I give birthday gifts. Don't tell me you cannot be because nobody did it for you. You can be everything that Jesus said you are. But it begins with you. So change the narratives about it. Get up on your feet. Change that narrative. Break out of the chains that have held you. Tied you back to your past. Break out of it. Let the shackles on your feet break. Let the scars define your future, not the scars. Keep you bound in the past. So if you're here today, you're saying, Aunty Kelechi, I've tried all I can. I cannot break out. I've tried all that I can. The trauma is so much on me. I cannot break. I can't come out. I'm so confined. I'm so limited. I'm dying. I can't forget all those things. Nobody said you should forget those things. But what we are saying is those things should lose power over you. I've tried all that I can, ma. I cannot. If you're there, I want you to say yes, ma. Just drop it in the comments. Yes, ma. All the abuse, all the pain. Oh, I've tried. I cannot. What is happening to me? Aunty Kelechi, look at how Mr. Amadi Jireh just shared his own. I've tried. I can't seem to forgive my parents. Listen, that is another thing I forgot to ask AJ. But I know he has done that. It began with forgiveness. AJ, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. He had to forgive his parents. I had to forgive my uncle's wife and my uncle. I carried them in my mind as a burden in my heart until even in my marriage, in my 30s, I was still angry with them for the pain they caused me. But until you forgive, you cannot see the future. You cannot see anything. So you are here today, and you are saying, Aunty Kelechi, I can't break through. I can't come out of it. It is killing me. It is limiting me. It is choking me. My darling, the problem is that you have not forgiven them. So I want you to lift up your hand and you're saying, Aunty Kelechi, I want to break free. I want to come out of the shackles. I want to come out of the pains, the trauma of my childhood, the mistakes, the pains is holding me. I hate them. I do this. I do that. They cause me pain and I hate them. If you're like that, I want you to lift up your hands today. And you're going to take this prayer from a woman who has been there. Listen, only those who are broken are masters at mending. If you have not been broken, you cannot mend. If you've not torn apart, you cannot offer healing. You cannot offer deliverance. So I have torn apart. I have gone through that part. And so the deliverance power is here that can set you free. Say the power that raises us from the dead. If that same power comes upon you, he will break the chains. He will break the yoke. He will set you free. He will the body that is what Kiss and Tell does. It's not for you to hear stories. It's for you to hear stories that will empower you, stories that will change you, stories that will liberate you, stories that will make you understand the love of Jesus. As before I lead into a prayer that will change your life forever, I want you to understand that you are not what happened to you. You are not your past experience. You are not the mistakes of your parents. You are not the mistakes of the people that abused you. You are not the mistakes of the society that failed you. You are the love of God. You are God's choice. You are God's love. You are God's calibrendos kataya. The love of Jesus is not for any, is not bought. You don't do anything for Jesus to love you. Jesus loves you. He wants you to come back. He wants to restore your life. He wants to restore your hope. He wants to deliver you. He wants to set you free. And Jesus is here. And it's all he's asking is if you can say yes. If you can say yes, say, Lord, help me. Lord, set me free. Lord, deliver me. Lord, help me. I want to heal. I want to heal. What are the pains in your heart? What are the tears in your heart? Your parents abused you. Your mother abused you. Your siblings abused you. The pain is so much. You bear grudge. Just say, Jesus, help me. Jesus, heal me. Jesus, set me free. Rambele Kotaya. The power of God is here. The chains are being broken today. Rabakatakata. The chains are broken. Jesus, help me. Some of you, they body shamed you. They told you you are too slim. You are too this, you are too that. They said you are a mistake. Whatever be that pain, I want you to cry out to the Lord now. Help me. Jesus, take away the body. Rambara Kataya Rabosha. The power that heals is here. The power that delivers is here. The power that changes is here. Lift up your hands. And you're going to take this song after me. You're going to take this confession with me. Say, Lord Jesus, lift up your two hands. Say, Lord Jesus, thank you for today. Thank you for the story of AJ. Say, Jesus, help me. Jesus, deliver me. Jesus, save me. Jesus, set me free from the past. Jesus, set me free from the past. Lord, I'm not what happened to me. Lord, I am not who happened to me. Lord, I am who you say I am. I am who you say I am. I am not the trauma. I am not the mistake of my brother. I am not the mistake of my father. I am not the mistake of my siblings. I am not the mistake of my society. Jesus, I am who you say I am. I am the royal priesthood. I am set free today. Lord, today I forgive my parents. Today I forgive everyone that have offended me. Today I forgive everyone that cost me pain. Today I forgive everything that cost me pain. Jesus, today I break free from every excuses. I break free from the excuses. I break free from the wrong mindset. I break free from the limitations. Lord, I am made whole. Lord, I am made whole. I am not the abuse. I am not the trauma. I am the apple of God's eye. I am a brand new person in the name of Jesus. If you say that prayer, I'd like to pray for you. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, I thank you for your sons and daughters today who have come to realize that they are not what happened to them. They are not who happened to them. They are not the mistakes of their parents and their siblings and whoever, guardians of society or environment. They are not victims of circumstances, oh God, but they are the chosen ones, the royal priesthood. Their identity is in Christ Jesus and not in the past. Their identity is not in the trauma or in the mental imbalance, but in Christ Jesus. So today, Lord, I speak healing to their soul. I speak healing to their heart. I speak healing to every situation that has traumatized them, that has kept them bound. I speak healing right now. The deliverance power of God goes ahead of you to break the chains, break the yoke, break everything that has held you, that has imprisoned you. The power of God, it comes over you. The power of the Almighty, it overshadows you. It breaks the yoke, it breaks the chains. The bodies are lifted. Those of you lying down in your pool of tears, in your pool of regret, in the pool of mistakes, right now Jesus is saying, get up and walk. Get up and walk. You have been made whole. The yoke has been broken. Get up and walk. You are beautiful. The one is waiting for you to manifest. You will use your story to transform the world in the name of Jesus Christ. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. And Gentiles shall come to your light, kings shall come to your rising. In the name of Jesus Christ, I declare over your life, you have been set free, you have been made whole. You will correct the errors of the past, you will correct the mistakes of the past. In the name of Jesus Christ, and whosoever the Son of God set free, he is free indeed. You have been set free in the name of Jesus. Go and live a new life. Go and begin a new process. Go and be the process that all does in the name of Jesus Christ. Father, we thank you. Blessed be your name, O Lord. For in Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen. So thank you so much
Amen.
for joining us. Amadi, Jireh, you can go. Thank you. God bless you. So thank you so much for joining us to up to this time. Sorry we took much of our time because we spent almost 20 minutes trying to connect on Facebook. Hello, we can't do this on Facebook. We have to continue with our Instagram, okay? Because Facebook is becoming very, very annoying. So we'll continue, we'll maintain our Instagram. So those of us that don't have Instagram, try and get Instagram. So thank you so much for joining me in this January 2023 Kiss and Tell. And please, if you have any wonderful story you'd like to share with us, please contact me. Contact me, contact us. We'd like to take your stories. You are the one that define your story. Your story can help somebody. And in sharing your story, you become liberated. You become healed. You'll be made whole when you share your story. There's power in your story. Do not hide your story. So you have been launched into a new process. Now begin to walk in the newness of life. Your identity has changed. So you have been made whole. Go and live in the fullness of this reality in the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you. I'll see you next time, the last Sunday of February on the same channel. I'll see you. God bless you. Bye-bye.